All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. You are watching from Nisha's View, and this is Photography Talk with Nisha. And today we're going to be talking about something that I have experienced and sometimes still experience. The fact that I get nervous before a photo shoot. Yes, I get a little anxiety, just not knowing. But today I'm going to share with you 3 things that definitely helped me and probably could help you too in getting over those nerves. So no further ado, let's get into these 3 suggestions. All right, so I have my list here because you know me, I be getting off track. I get off track. So I'm gonna stay on topic, on track, and I have my 3 suggestions here. And the first suggestion that I definitely would recommend is that you always do a consultation before your shoot. Before your session, talk to your client, talk to your model, talk to whoever it is that you're going to be doing the session with. And that's, no matter if it's a paid session or if you're doing something creative or anything, talk to the people, talk to them. And that way you can understand exactly what the shoot is about, especially if you're doing client work and they're shooting it for their brand, their business. So you want to just make sure that you talk with them to understand what it is that they're wanting to, obtain, what type of shots they want to get. They're able to determine their expectations. They're able to determine your expectations. You also can then get an idea of creating a mood board. So if you use Pinterest, you could use Pinterest to do this, but just getting that information from the client, what they plan on wearing to the session. And then if this is a creative, session for you or for someone else, then you're understanding what it is that they are expecting. So definitely, one, always talk to your clients, to your models. That's first and foremost. Oh, okay. So tip 2. Tip 2 is I would suggest you visit the location if you can. If you can visit the location before your session, before you shoot, that will save a lot of time. It will save a lot of time the day of your session, of your shoot, and knowing exactly, where things are, what areas you could do different shots, different locations in that one location, right? So you don't want to be just stuck in one spot. So visit the location if you can beforehand. Now, if you can't, visit the location and scout it out before. The day of, arrive early. I don't know. It's just me and just, I guess, being in control and wanting to be in control of things. But I have to get there early. At least, I'm going to just say at least 30 minutes, depending on what the shoot is. Maybe 30 to 45 minutes early. I know some photographers don't do that, but for me, I like to get there early, scope out the different, session. My phone is just going off. Oh my God, I'm just going to turn it off. How about that? I just put it on silent. Okay, so back. What was I saying? We were talking about getting there early. Yes, get there early, scope out the space. If you're doing it in a studio or something like that, find out where the lights are. If you are using their lights, or if you're bringing your own lights, find out where you can place the lights. Where if you have constant lights and it needs to be plugged in, find out where the plug is. It's just important for you, and it saves you so much heartache and anxiety going into a space not knowing the lighting. That's very important too with scouting out, locations. But if you're getting there early, then you can figure out and, do a game plan in your head and say, well, okay, the lighting is not that great in here, so I know I need to do this, and this. So definitely scout out the location beforehand if you can, and then the day of, arrive early. And then also with preparing for your session, I also suggest that you check your equipment out. I always check my equipment out at least a day or two before the session, because I don't want to check my equipment the day before and there's something wrong. You never know. With these machines, something may go wrong, even if, you just checked it, your last session may have been just last week. But just check your equipment. Check your equipment a day or two before your shoot, your session. Make sure your batteries are charged. Make sure your camera is just working how you want to work it. If you're taking lights, make sure your lights are charged. If you're using off-camera flash, strobes. So just make sure that everything is working in order at least a day or two before your session. Okay? Save yourself some heartache and some grief in that, please. Okay. Now, the third thing that I would suggest is definitely make you a shot list. Make you a shot list of what you plan on taking. Now, this goes back to your number one. To your first thing with your consultation, you've talked about what this photo shoot is going to be about. So now in this third suggestion, you are making you a shot list. Make your shot list. Okay, I'm going to get a couple of poses like this. I'm going to get poses of the person doing this, doing that. It will save you time. And then once you go through your shot list, and I'm not afraid, I have my notepad with me and I'll be like, okay, yep, we did that, we did that, we did that, we did that. I'm going through the shot list, maybe in front of the client, because I just want to make sure, okay, you wanted to do we did that. Now let's, mix it up, have a little bit more fun, because by then y'all have, created a little communication. You have created rapport with each other, and you're comfortable with each other. So now it's time to, relax and have fun at the shoot. So yeah, number 3, create you a shot list. Now the bonus, this is a bonus that I want to suggest. When you're talking with your client or your model, whatever, in your consultation, in your first suggestion, ask them what is their favorite music, what is their favorite artist, and make a playlist, or put on Pandora or Spotify or something like that of that person's music. It will make your session be so much better, because music has a way of connecting with people. And if that person loves that artist's music and you're playing that artist's music, they get loose, they let their guard down. That allows you to loosen up. If they're comfortable, then you're comfortable. If you can tell that they're uncomfortable, then that makes you kind of uncomfortable. Then they can tell that you're uncomfortable, and we're just uncomfortable. No, we're going to be comfortable with each other. Okay. All right. So when you make that shot list, make you a playlist, or first ask the client, what is their favorite artist? Who is their favorite artist? What kind of music they like? What genre of music they like? And make a playlist, or put on Pandora or Spotify. So that's your bonus tip. Put some music on and set the mood. Okay. Okay. So those are my tips and my suggestions for if you're still getting nervous for your photo shoot. And like I said, I sometimes still get nervous before them. And honestly, I think it's just being human about it. The more you do them, the more you get comfortable. But it's just something about sometimes meeting a stranger. That person doesn't know you necessarily, and you don't know that person. So you have to create some comfortableness there. Did I make that word up? Comfortableness? But anyway, you have to create an environment where they feel comfortable and you feel comfortable. And with that, that's knowing that you are a great photographer, or they would not have booked you, or, they would not have come to you for their pictures, whatever it is that they're wanting to do. And then you sought out maybe a model because you had an ideal about something, but that model fit the aesthetic of what you were wanting to do. So just being comfortable and confident. And the more you do sessions, the more you do shoots, the more you do get comfortable with that, especially working with people. Working with people can be different than if you're just going out doing maybe landscapes, or unless if you're doing landscapes and cityscapes, if you're doing it for a project that's super huge, you still may get nervous about that, but you still can incorporate all of these suggestions when you go out if you're feeling nervous. And I know you're feeling nervous. We all get nervous. So anyway, that's it. That's all I wanted to share for today. And if you made it this far, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Okay. Hit the comments. Tell me down below, have you ever felt nervous? What are some things that helps you to combat that nervousness and that anxiety that starts to creep in? Okay. And like and share if you like this kind of content. For sure. For sure. All right. And so until next time, I'll talk to y'all then.
Thanks for watching my GG channel. Period.